support us, they make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. This is Johnny playing Chime North.
My name's Aaron, and I'm playing Sam Feluge.
This is Jeff playing Jerr Lan.
Ellie playing Archi.
This is Jeremy playing Julian Illix.
And I'm Jordan, and I am game mastering. So, previously on Bone Throwers Theater, Julian was the subject of a manhunt.
And Katari was on a manhunt.
Katari in a flashback was on a manhunt for Archie.
And Sam.
Not at the same time.
Not at
Not the same time, no. But
Julian had a conversation with Daisy, which was weird.
Conversation with Jerr's Elemental.
Was weird.
Conversation with Serrani.
Which was weird.
let's talk to
Par for
everybody
the
but
course for
me.
Julian.
Yeah, common denominator is Julian here.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Jerr had some very interesting knowledge and had to make a very momentous choice.
They didn't allow me to go through with it.
You could have, because Julian persuaded him otherwise.
I mean, you still could have. Could have been single for a while.
Worked on you.
Me do me.
Jerr do Jerr.
His age catches up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a risk. Nobody knows what would happen. You're right. Nobody knows. I don't think that would happen, though, just because of the way the healing preservation works.
The reason that worked was because they were stabilizing for the removal. Doesn't necessarily mean that the longevity effects of the water elemental would necessarily stay behind.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, once the removal is completed and you're stabilized, you still might start rapidly aging.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry's nothing but a pile of dust before we leave the... I got a jar of dust.
I've got a jar of dirt.
So, who has something they want to do?
I'm still trying to catch up to Julian.
There was a discussion about a time jump.
Do we want to
Was that now? I thought
fast forward?
I guess I assumed that was going to be at the end of...
I was thinking that would be now.
Oh.
While we're looking for... He just wants to avoid confrontation with Chime.
You're talking about a time jump. How far?
Because conceivably, Julian would not try and come back and try and stay on his own until some of these things he's been working on have been worked out. Story-wise, I don't think we need to play every single moment of that out.
No.
Correct. I think if we did more of a fast forward with intermixed scenes, because the next step, if we're looking for us to all get into agreement that we're headed back to Consiglio,
There needs to be some interpersonal.
some tete-a-tete.
Yeah.
Sam needs to kill Julian, and the rest of the group needs to get
Kill
on board.
Sam.
Who else does Sam need to kill? Because I'm sure that Julian's not the only one on that list.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know I don't know if that's the plan. I'm just saying that there clearly needs to be some conflict resolution, because everybody except for Julian is convinced that Sam, at this point, or at least under the impression or unsure about if Sam tried to kill Katari for their own gain, or what Sam's reasoning was, where everybody else has actually had the chance to discuss this. So that needs to happen before we all come back together.
Yes. So the question is, do we want to...
Also, Jerry needs to heal Katari.
Or not.
There it is.
I'm just saying.
I mean, if Jerr wants to be a little self-serving, he might not necessarily want to heal Katari.
But my elemental was convinced very strongly to serve that end of healing Katari. And Jerr is also on the level of healing others.
So let me ask Archie something. How do you feel right now about Katari, Archie? Because you've had some concerning recollections surface.
It's a little more confusion than anything because it's feelings for a person I don't even know
Yeah.
at this point. Atari is just almost somebody from a past life.
No, that's a fair assessment.
Obviously, I still feel inclination to remember her, what had happened in the past, but for now, it's just memory, and it didn't really end happy memory.
Gotcha. So how about we do this? How about we go around the table? Everybody can choose either time passes or do a scene. So for example, Johnny starts if you want to do a scene, or if you want time to pass,
I want to do a scene.
Okay.
With Julian.
See, and so that's what I think that we need to figure out first, because Julian wants to be solo
Yeah.
the entire time we pass time.
So it doesn't sound like that it would be something that the other characters would want.
And so if we're talking about a week passing, all of the characters, at least definitely Chine, likely Sam, maybe Jerr, would be trying to find Julian during that time.
Actually, I don't think Jerr would be as concerned with finding Julian because of the sporadic contact with his elemental.
Here's the question, though. I can see why, because Julian then wouldn't be seeking out to make contact with Chine and would not be seeking to make contact with Sam, but probably would have continued sporadic contact with Jerr and probably also Archie.
And I
And Serrani and Daisy. So.
Sam probably wouldn't have gone looking for you. I changed that.
Okay.
Like, he would have looked for the day and then
give it
been
up.
like, I don't know where he is, he'll come back.
Or not.
Or Sam might be like, I don't care if he comes back.
All right, but Chime has words.
I was tracking your trail.
I would think it'd be another roll. Because honestly, Julian would have seen you track to where his last location was, and then probably would have made a move.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, tracking.
Or search, I think we
Versus
did.
track.
I'm doing search.
And I'm going to play this as Julian, seeing that you were able to track him, he's going to do a much better effort, so I'm going to drop a fate point on him.
Okay.
I have no hope unless I roll a whole bunch of sixes. Nope. 2.
Okay,
Don't
wow.
bother.
That's like, I probably have like 40.
Yeah.
10,
I lost your trail completely.
20,
I am the knight.
37,
It's supposed to be reversed.
38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Can I get it back? Yeah, so Julian...
Yeah, I lost your trail.
Yeah, Julian saw that you were tracking him. He's like, nope, sorry. Steps up his game and goes full rogue.
And considering your past before this had been
The survival guys.
the survival.
I mean, he did search and rescue.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
knows what people look for to find somebody. So he's going to make sure that none of those things exist on his trail.
Sounds good.
All right, so I guess how much time passes, and would we still go around the circle, maybe say one or two things that
Yeah, kind
your
of.
character has happened
Or,
during that
our
time?
character's been doing during this.
Yeah.
I like that.
Montage mode,
So how much time?
1 week.
1 week.
That's my suggestion.
Sounds perfect to me.
Yep. You all get to be free for a week. Yes.
Is this all going to trigger other things down the road?
Maybe.
Everything triggers other things down the road.
It's more like a wrap up to Fiasco is how we've done it in the past. But I reserve the right to.
Jordan will use these statements against us later
yeah.
on. It could even be in the conclusion of season 4. He uses these things against us.
But these in general will not be role played out.
Correct, unless you want to.
Okay.
If you want to have a scene, you can either say something that passes, or you can institute a scene if you want.
Okay.
We'll say that.
Well, if we're talking about a week, I spent that time looking for Julian and not talking to anybody else from this group.
Wow.
Not even me.
Not even you. I will talk to Bear if Bear comes around, but that's about it.
Wow. Okay. Sam has been collecting gear, some clothes, because we're kind of traveling light at this point. So making sure I'm prepped because I know the next step is that we are headed back to Consiglio. So Sam is doing prep of that nature, but also making a name for herself, going around and being friendly and helpful. largely to Jerr, every chance that I get, but also to the local community.
Jerr is going to heal Katari.
Oh, I see how that goes. Just heal Katari.
Keep watch over her. Make sure she doesn't do anything and nothing is done to her.
Go ahead and make me a medicine check.
Just a regular medicine check?
Or a magical?
Yeah, magical one. Magical medical.
Magical medical.
Magical
Yeah,
medical.
that's fine. Magical.
15.
Can you do that 8
Yeah.
plus 2d?
And then plus 2d. 14, 15 to do my medicines with the waters.
Medicines with the waters. So you're able to go ahead and heal the wound on her neck, but she's pretty weak, so she'll need to maintain some hospital stay.
Oh yeah, she was weak before she got stabbed.
Yeah, right? I wonder why.
Being poisoned for a month. Traveling through desert wasteland of a tundra.
Getting shot out of the air.
Yeah. Falling out of an aircraft.
So Sam's been the least damage to her health.
Yes.
I love, Aaron, how you work to interpret things in the most inoffensive way possible.
I try.
The least of the happenstantial damage, but the most of the intentional damage.
And I'm also getting as much rest as I can while watching over her.
How much time do you spend reading your new manual? Elemental Exorcism for Dummies.
I guess I spend a couple hours each day going over it and making sure that I understand it. Alright, that's all I wanted to do was take care of her and take care of me. You know, get ready for another arduous journey through the wilderness.
Archie.
Spending time in the dog park by myself quite a lot, and the rest of the time watching over Jerr healing Tari whilst having a few more flashbacks.
What are some of those flashbacks like?
One where we got back together and argued once more while trying to cook dinner, and a new temper arose out of me and accidentally, quote unquote accidentally, flew a knife at her.
Bad. That went dark.
She's been unconscious the entire time Archie's been with us, right? No?
No.
Oh yeah, no, almost at least.
The Black House.
Yeah, but there was no. I think it was shortly after that Katari was.
It was very shortly after that.
Yeah.
We left the Black House to go to her hideout, and that's where she collapsed.
Yep. So that's been more or less the entire time.
I don't think she had a chance to even recognize me, honestly, because that was so...
Well,
She might have recognized you, but she was also delirious from the root virus.
She could have actually seen things.
delirious, maybe a little bit, but I also think a little bit more trained. Because at some point, I only assumed that Katari would have realized, because of her work in Healing Hands, potentially what was actually going on with Archie. Because she had more knowledge once working with Healing Hands about what the council was doing.
Katari would have needed knowledge about androids and about the swapping.
Through Serrani. She knew Serrani was an android.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
One more flashback regarding her following me to what she thought ideas of where I was going, but actually it was one of those times that I was selling my equipment. So she was trying to track me.
Gotcha. Julian.
Julian has been about gaining information and supplies, you could say. Again, he's been in communication with Jerr through the elemental, with Archie, Serrani, and Daisy sporadically. Equipment-wise, has been getting those containers to try and see if he could, along with any of the androids that would assist. So those are the ones he has been mainly in contact with elementally, but he has also actually been meeting with some androids as well for the purpose of helping devise some things in preparation of going back to Consiglio to go up against whatever elemental force is going to be standing in their way. So equipment-wise, that's it. And information-wise has been through Daisy and Archie and Serrani wanting to know more about why finding Archie's original elemental is so important. What's the importance of that elemental?
So mostly like travel gear, a couple of canisters.
Well, canisters, and honestly what he's trying to accomplish would be a little bit more tangible, because to him the canisters are just canisters. He can't really do anything with them, but trying to take some of similar technology and combine that into a couple ways that could be used by humans or innates or even proxies that are fighting an elemental who is against them.
Like a Ghostbusters trap.
Sort of, because one of the ways that Julian has been trying to figure out is also this safe disbonding process. So that's another bit of information through contact with Katara, because she said there was a manual. So obviously that's another thing that he would want to read through as well. One of the things he was thinking is that if there's a way to, and again, not knowing the results of how that experiment went down, one of the things that Julian was trying to do, and we saw this in season 2, was sedate both the human and the elemental and try and coax the separation to happen that way. Apparently there is some physical involvement needing, so that's why he was thinking about utilizing some of the technology of the container to actually physically move an elemental. So it's not them trying to do it, they're so sedated that they can be actually removed physically. So,
I mean, to me, that sounds very similar to what Jerr has been working on.
right.
So, do you and Jerr have any kind of conversations about that?
Yes. Knowing that probably that's what Jerr was thinking at the time that he was connected, because Serrani said that.
Okay. So, about a week has passed. Katari has woken up, is able to move around a little bit, but still pretty weak. Most likely you'll have to leave her behind.
That's fine.
Jerr, are you constantly by Katari?
Yeah.
Like you are 24/7 in Katari's room?
Yeah. Except for when I had to go to the bathroom, in which case I asked if Archie could watch.
Sure thing.
Thanks.
Investigation for Julian is in trying to connect to Jerr's elemental. Is there a time where he can sense that Jerr is spending longer in the facilities? How regular is Jerr? Pretty much.
Well, since they don't feed us meat around here.
Probably pretty regular.
Jerr has settled into a very brisk twice-a-day schedule.
Is just trying to figure out, is there a time of the day where there's a longer bathroom break?
Oh, yeah, like typically
than a shorter bathroom break.
7 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon are the longer breaks.
All right, so at the end of the week, Julian is going to try and time one of those breaks and then come in to visit Katari. And that would be his first contact with anybody, like other than Elementally and Android.
So Archie and Katari are sitting in Katari's hospital room. You walk in and Katari is kind of facing away from Archie with her arms folded.
Oh, this is awkward. Julian doesn't know that, though.
And I would imagine Archie's just kind of sitting there with like head propped up on fist, just kind of in the thinker's pose, like just kind of staring like up at the ceiling.
So they both could see me
Coming in.
peripherally.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Julian just kind of slowly emerges around the corner of the door. And Julian just altered his appearance a little bit. The sides of his head are completely shaved. There's no dreads, and his dreads are considerably shorter and pulled back into sort of a ponytail.
Did my eyes deceive me? Is that Julian?
Yeah, I told you I'd be coming eventually.
Archie's still facing Katari's back. Nice hair. What made you do it? I liked it the old way.
It was just a little bit easier.
No, everybody's been looking for you.
Imagine so. So I see both of you are doing better.
Archie makes a grimace. Yeah, sort of doing better. At least some of us.
And he glares at Katari's back.
While Katari's up, at least, and moving, which, I mean, Jerry's been doing some amazing work then, because a week ago this was not looking so good.
Yeah.
And you know that Katari, Daisy was struggling to keep you alive because of what Sam did. I'm on board with going back to Consiglio to help, since we've talked more about what we actually are looking for. I can see how that's important. I'm here to kind of let you guys know that I'm willing to come back and do that, but we got to find a way that all of us can work together without having to look over our shoulders.
That's going to be difficult with this group, isn't it? There's no way around it. We have to go back to Consiglio. And there's no way around it that everyone in this group cannot trust the others.
So what do you want to do about that?
Well,
I guess we gotta suck it up, don't we? It's not about just us anymore.
that's true. Julian looks at his watch, is like, you got about a minute, Jerry's gonna be back. Dog park,
Fine.
dusk. And he slips back out.
We really, really wanted to show up in the middle of that conversation.
Even Rod.
You had a good movement that day.
I'll let you walk in as Julian is trying to walk out.
Julian, where you been?
Out. Later.
When?
They'll let you know.
All right.
As he heads out the hospital door, you hear him say, "Good work. Keep it up."
Thanks.
Sam. What you up to?
Still making sure I have equipment, because I agree that, as we've talked, heading back to Consiglio is a good option. And so Sam is making sure that all their stuff is packed. And that also been spending some time trying to figure out, while this group is pacifists, we also know that they have guards and they go out into the wild. And so trying to collect anything that they will give us for, as far as ammunition, guns, because they have it for self-defense.
You're looking for an elephant gun, aren't you?
No,
Kaiju gun.
no, that's too unwieldy for Sam. But I know that they have to have. I mean, they were able to capture at least one soldier, so they have tranquilizer stuff, and they have. So trying to gear up and willing to work for what I need to get.
What about Shade? What's Shade up to?
Let's see what Shade is up to. Shade is likely up to no good.
Shade's mad at Sam.
Ask Johnny what Shade is up to.
Oh, gosh.
Shade is mad at Sam.
I believe it.
You blew it.
Yes, I blew it. Sometimes
When are you gonna fix it?
I'm working on it. I've been telling you I've been working on it for a while, and not everything can just be done all at once.
Tick, 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 tick.
Yes, that is one of our options.
Covering them in ticks?
It's a timer for a bomb.
I didn't interpret it that way. I did.
But that's, like, worst case scenario. Right now, they're going to help us back into Consiglio. And you know what's there. Mm-hmm. So, getting there is our next best step.
How about we just steal their balloon over there?
Because you and I can't fly that balloon.
Sure we can.
And there's other people out there looking for us. Safety in numbers.
They won't be looking for us in the animal preserve balloon.
They would, because they know that we're here.
Maybe, maybe not.
You are correct. Maybe, maybe not. And it's not enough to take on hope. If we can get back to Consiglio with this group, so that way we're there, we can be protected on the way there. We can go our own way once we get there.
You still haven't found Julian.
No, Julian will come back to us. Trust me on that.
As long as you're ready for him.
I'll be ready for him.
And Shade goes silent. That conversation is almost a daily conversation with Shade.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Have you killed Julian yet? No. Why am I talking to you? Have you killed Julian yet? No. Why do I keep you around?
And yes, Shade and Sam have discussed the option of taking off on their own and heading back to Consiglio solo. But
These side overland was not a good idea by ourselves.
yeah. So part of what I've been doing is making sure that I still have all of the stuff that I came with,
Including the helmet?
including the helmet.
Aside from people, yes.
Yeah.
Chime.
Yes.
Are you still looking for Julian now that the week has passed, or you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what are some of your techniques for trying to find him?
Asking around, just general looking. I go out in the woods every now and then, look, see if I can find trails.
My question is, would Jerr, Serrani, Katari, or Archie disclose that they have been in contact with Julian?
Well, I wouldn't know. I haven't talked to any of them.
Oh, that's true. Well, still,
Would they disclose?
it's close even to Sam.
To Sam, because Sam's been around.
Well, one of the things Julian would say is don't trust Sam.
Don't trust him?
So
I think Archie's of the understanding that he is the same mindset, not to trust pretty much anybody. The closest person to trusting, per se, is Julian. And that's crazy.
Right?
I don't know what to tell you.
Jerr is
Why
like
am
the
I,
most
like-
trustworthy person in the group.
I'm like-
and no one trusts.
Well, to me, it's not
me.
I trust you.
All you did was cure me of my sickness.
Julian, for
Let
the
her
most
get back
part,
to cigar
trusts
fishing.
Jerr. All right, so Chime.
Yeah. Yes, I've been going out in the woods and looking for trails and just trying to find his hiding spot.
Now, are you spending time in your cave? Like, was that what you're sleeping and everything like that?
Seeing how Chime tracked Julian, he probably wouldn't have gone back to that cave. So Julian probably found a different site. Maybe even may have had an arrangement with one of the androids. Say, I'm going to be in this. What do you call them? Watchtowers. Watchtowers.
Yeah.
Just be sure that you guys know I'm there, but you guys are the only ones that know I'm there, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Let's go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, I think maybe we'll hop on over to the dog park and see what's happening there.
Hey, Mets, have you ever read Dragonlance?
Dragonlance. That sounds familiar.
Well, it was a Dungeons and Dragons campaign
Yeah.
that they turned into a book.
Okay.
And here's the crazy part, though. Let me just pitch this to you, all right? The narrator of the book is actually unreliable. He's spinning us one story while trying to tell another, and you have to kind of piece together from contextual clues or missing information exactly what's going on. It's really, really deep and really, really cool.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. It's about an annoying gnome.
So it's more like my life.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, it's a good thing we have better novels than that to analyze on Alzabo's Soup, where we literally become our favorite authors by devouring portions of their brains.
Devouring brains, of course, means reading books. And over at Alzabo Soup, we dive deep into some of our favorite novels, especially those by famed author Gene Wolfe.
If you're interested, please come check us out. We're online at alzabosoup.libsyn.com or on any of your favorite podcast hosting services.
I'm sorry if I offended any Dragonlance listeners.
No, you're not.
All right, and we are back. So it is dusk at the dog park. Yeah, so they're all there. All four of you are there. Chime and Sam, well, tough.
Well, would Sam have colluded with us at any point in the day?
I mean, that would have
After
been
that?
in and out.
Sam's not staying away from you like that.
Yeah, I'm being helpful. I'm being friendly. I'm even helping you do things for Katari.
Which I'm finding odd and suspicious.
Of course, as I knew you would.
So, just to be clear, it was Julian's intent to get everybody there.
Do you like send a runner to Chime?
Sends out the bat signal.
Now, obviously, Julian would have thought that everybody else was in contact with each other.
All right.
So if Chime's not there, Chime's not there, I guess.
All right. It seems like everybody wants to leave you out. I'm sorry, man.
It's his fault.
You're the one who lied to my face.
I didn't lie to your face.
All right, so Julian is actually hanging back from the dog park, staking out, see who actually shows up first.
Sam will be there first.
And Julian's waiting. But since Sam is there first, Julian's gonna try and connect.
Okay.
Should I re-roll for it, or do we still go with Johnny?
I'm gonna roll search to see if I see them.
Okay.
So, 8.
It's not an opposed search. They're
Yeah.
not being
I know.
sneaky, so that I think that would be fine.
17.
17? And you needed a 23, didn't you?
Character points.
23. Yay.
2 more character points gone.
Can you roll that effect dice as well?
Yes. Or actually, no. Since I've used air, I don't have to roll the effect.
Okay, you choose an effect
It's Julian's state of mind towards that particular elemental.
on whether it gets plus or minus.
So it would be a minus.
Okay, -2 to
-2.
all rolls for
shade.
For shade.
For shade.
For shade.
So if Sam decides to do something on her own,
Yeah,
you don't have no penalty.
correct. Anything that is not a extra normal.
Right.
yes.
So you connect.
I connect and I don't do a thing.
Okay, I rolled a 7 for
I'm just
shade. So
I'm just listening.
okay.
I want to know what shade is saying.
Know what the shade says.
You hear now or later. We'll see. We'll see. And then Sam's like, "Are there dogs at the dog park?"
Yes.
And then Sam's playing with the dogs, playing fetch.
Once I did a search roll and walking by, I see you there. You're in the dog park.
I'm not in the dog park.
I'm in the dog park.
Sam's in the dog park.
I thought you said you were there at the dog park.
He's outside of the dog park.
I'm outside of the dog park hiding.
Oh.
He's watching
You
the
see
dog park.
Sam at the dog park.
Okay, I see Sam at the dog park then. So I only go up to Sam then.
Chime, you got the message.
What message?
The one to meet Julian here.
He's coming here?
Yeah, the whole group is.
Good.
I think the brown one likes you.
Uh-huh. Casually pats the dog's head.
The brown one's name is Lucy.
Lucy?
Lucy.
That's a cute name for that dog. That's a good name for that dog.
Oh, Chime showed up.
Somehow Chime got the message too.
Jerr, I'm imagining you're pushing Kitara in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So we're here to meet Julian, and he's nowhere in sight.
Probably doesn't trust me.
I mean, he's not the only one.
True. So he probably
I'm
wanted to
not
make sure
standing
that
with
he was safe before. So he's not going to, since you guys all just showed up and I was here first, he's not going to just walk up to me because he thinks I'll try to kill him.
Which you probably would. Based on what you've told me.
Yeah, there's always a possibility.
Would Serrani show up as well?
Do you want Serrani to show up?
I would want Serrani to show up as well.
Okay, we can make that happen.
Because Serrani is probably, ironically, higher up on Julian's trust meter than
Everybody else. Even Jerr.
No, Jer's up there. Like,
Poor Jerr.
No trust. No trust at all.
Charlie Brown of the group.
Right?
Jer's probably top 3.
Top 3? Okay.
Top 3.
Right below
Julian.
Shade.
Shade is at the bottom. If there was a bottom. Negative 11.
I love it.
Shade is at absolute 0. Alright, so everybody's there?
Yes.
How close were you? Weren't close enough to hear the conversation
No.
in between. Okay. At one point, you did hear, yeah, you might try to kill him from Shade.
Julian approaches the dog park. Anybody who is perceptive enough to see coming out of the, this is at dusk, it's a little bit dark, out of the tree line.
Which is where I was looking for you. Since they said you want to be here. I feel like this is a showdown in the Western.
Clink.
So Julian comes up.
That's what it feels like.
And before he's like fully there with the rest of them, he's like, anybody with weapons, let's set them down now. And Julian is taking off his rifle as he's approaching. And he's looking directly at Sam.
Jerr would be like, okay.
Yep. Sam will pull out our gun and set it down.
Just to be clear, all of our weapons, let's set them down.
Sam will also pull out the knife and set it down.
Julian pulls out 2 pistols and his machete as well.
Loaded for Bear.
Yeah, one of those pistols is mine.
No. Bear just comes with a kick.
No, he got one of the androids to give him his pistol back. And has another pistol. He sets his weapons down and he is standing furthest away from Sam. So however the group is configured, Julian's exact opposite of the circle.
I don't know how they're configured, but I'm like 10 feet away from their group.
Well, then probably further away is Chine.
So we're here.
So we are here, all of us. Well, minus Bear, but Bear says he wants to stay. Well, at least the last I spoke to him.
Wait, he said that? Archie speaks up. That's right.
Yeah.
After this week, I totally forgot. Kinda was hoping he would change his mind.
And he's been through a lot.
That's fair.
So,
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
some of the stuff we probably didn't have to go through if we just kind of worked together.
Yeah.
Instead of stabbing each other in the back or neck or
Clavicle.
other places.
You're right.
And Chime looks at all of you. When
right.
you say that.
I think if we hadn't been stabbing each other, things could have been much better.
Also, if we hadn't run away, looks at the two of you, Chime and Julian.
This conversation could have happened a week ago.
Oh, conversations have happened throughout the week, and most of you know that. Conversations that needed to happen.
Not all of them.
Yeah, all the conversations that needed to happen
No.
have happened. Now, other conversations actually need to happen. Now that we've got some of the important things.
It's dusk.
Yeah, it's dusk.
Okay.
So, let's clear the air.
You called us here, so you must have something to say.
Why is that thing still alive?
That thing is...
Archie looks behind himself.
That thing is an android. It's Archi. It's its name.
The monster inside of it. I know Jerr says he cured it. And that may be true about whatever the root virus thing is. But the root virus is not the thing that was in my brother.
Archie starts petting one of the dogs. You know, I'm right here, guys, I'm right here.
Yeah, Archie is right there. Archie
So-
is right there.
Not
Guess
your
what?
brother.
We're surrounded by elementals. There are other fire elementals here. You got to get over this aversion to fire elementals. It just has to happen. Or you can go off on your own. Because we're going back to a place where there are even more hostile fire elementals. That's what our mission is.
Yeah.
I don't want to say either you don't like it and you can stomach it, or you don't like it and you're not part of it.
Yeah, we all need to get over our aversion and our dislike and mistrust of elementals.
You can stay here with Katari, because Katari's in no shape to travel again. Not for some time. And from the sound of it, we gotta get going soon.
I'm thinking though, at least that elemental, Daisy, has some key info that could help us in Consiglio.
Are you suggesting they join us?
I'm suggesting that all the secrecy around Healing Hands be part of what the air is cleared about now. We all know. Honestly, I think that's what needs to happen, is everybody needs to know. But yet again, we're at the same impasse where what people are going to do with certain points of information could be detrimental to the group. And he's purposely bouncing back and forth between Chime and Sam.
So yeah,
with his eyes.
I think you're right. I think all the information around Healing Hands should clear the air. So Katari, why was everyone supposed to die once we got here?
No one was supposed to die.
No,
Exactly.
Katari, you hired me to kill everybody. I have a letter in my bag from you.
You do?
I do.
When was it signed?
Before we left Consiglio. So it was about 5-6 weeks ago.
Right, but was it after our date?
Yeah, when me, you, and Chime hung out for drinks. It was that night.
I didn't write any letters.
Is Shade saying anything during this time?
No.
Julian is looking directly at Sam and shaking his head.
Do you want to go see it?
No, because the timeline doesn't add up.
That I wasn't hired to kill you?
Kill us when?
After we got here.
We didn't even know we were going to be coming here.
Thank you, Jerr.
Katari did.
She did not.
How could I have known?
I don't know. That's what the letter says.
Who was it that suggested that we come to the Elm Reserve? Oh, Sarani.
Sarani.
Who works for Healing Hands.
No.
Katari does.
Katari does.
I thought Sarani was Healing Hands. No, Sarani's
Sarani's Animal
Preserve.
Preserve. Well, a little bit of both, actually.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So Sarani and Katari were kind of in cahoots ahead of this.
They planned this.
I don't know. All I know is Katari definitely wanted you all dead. Well, not you. Them.
I don't know. I kind of feel like there's some resentment here regarding Katari and I, but that's a subject for later.
Let me get this straight. Katari wanted all of us dead, even before Katari knew some of us were working with the group.
That's what she's saying.
That's
Before we even were a group.
That's what I have.
It doesn't make any sense.
Katari raises her hand. So, Jerr worked with Healing Hands before. Long time ago.
Yeah, 100 years ago.
Yes. I was recruited to Healing Hands shortly after I separated from the military. Okay, point one. Point two. I met Archie on the last night of my counseling for separation. I get more and more involved in Healing Hands. I run into an old war buddy. That's you, Sam. And I try and recruit you into Healing Hands because I know your past, and sometimes there are messes that need to be cleaned up. Sometimes there are things that need to be done that, don't exactly fall under
Healing?
the official purview.
So that's...
Whoa, hold on. That's why you were recruiting Sam, was to do
The dirty work.
the dirty work? There's not supposed to be any dirty work in
Why
Healing
else do you
Hands.
think they hire a murderer? Murder.
You don't know Sam's military record, do you?
No, Sam hasn't been very open about much of herself.
Yeah, Katari, I don't know if that's something I didn't mention. That would probably be news to Katari.
That would be
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, you went on a date with a girl. Just letting you know.
Yes, my military career was that of... It was bloody. It was dark. I kill people for hire.
we were in a wet works division.
It's supposed to be no such thing as dirty work for Healing Hands.
I can see why you would say that, but do you think the council would just roll over if enough people went on hunger strike or provided free medical care or...
Jerr, things have gotten so bad in Consiglio that, I mean, even with Healing Hands being what they are, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire.
The whole point of Healing Hands was to be a place of healing. It's in the name, healing.
Yeah, but
Not subterfuge, not...
So maybe when I was hired, there was worry that one of the three of you would cause problems for Healing Hands in the future. And I was brought in as a catch-all.
I was hired by Healing Hands to bring things to light.
Clearly they don't want everything brought to light.
The only reason I'm here is because I was framed for crimes by that thing.
By your brother.
The duck?
I'm not happy with you calling me a thing, you know.
So that's part of what I mean by cleaning the air. Cleaning the air. If we're all going on this mission, we're all going on this mission as team members that will do anything for each other, not against each other, including the way we talk about each other. Or don't talk about each other.
I'm not talking about Archie, I'm talking about the monster inside him.
Chine, it sounds like you don't want to be a part of this group. You can walk away if you wish.
I mean, I wish that. I'm not so fond of you right now.
You honestly don't need to be a part of this group either, Sam.
Because I tried to protect you? Okay.
Because you tried to murder one of our group.
Yes. I know.
Two of our group.
I warned you about that. Shade says, you warned him about what? Nothing. Don't worry about it. About what? What'd you warn him about? Hey, I'm talking to you. I'm getting angrier and angrier. As a matter of fact, you start getting, there's like a little wind picking up in the area. Yes. We're working on it. I say to both Shade and Julian. But yes, Katari was the one that I intentionally tried to kill.
Yay.
While the rest of us were trying to actually help Katari.
Yes, because you guys would not be willing to do what needed to be done. You don't trust me. You still don't trust me, despite the fact that I have a letter from Katari saying that you were all supposed to die after we got here.
Why didn't you bring that letter with you?
I do. It's in my bag.
No, I mean here. No.
Because why would I?
So you could show us. I mean, obviously, if you have a letter from me, yeah, it would solve so many of your, it would support your stance pretty well, don't you think? I mean, rather than this story, like I don't see anything. It doesn't. I don't remember signing anything. But of course, I got locked up in the Black House pretty quickly after I met you.
Because I don't remember this. Did not realize this was going to be a witch hunt.
It's not a witch hunt. I mean, look, I don't think I signed anything. I don't remember it. The Black House messed with my mind. I was sick.
Wait, Katari was trapped in the Black House?
No, Katari helped us get into the Black House.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't my first time there.
So, did they force you to write the letter?
I don't remember any letter.
When were you trapped in the Black House?
When Archi turned me in.
Archie?
Out of game. Hold on. This has been before pre-campaign.
Yeah, pre-campaign.
Right?
No, he said it was after we met. After we had our conversation.
Oh. So when?
So there was,
Yeah, there was no time.
Holy crap. Okay.
How do you think they found you at the print shop?
Out of game, I'm picking up something that was said sessions ago that could potentially, that was said by Daisy to Julian. And I don't think Julian has ever said this to anybody else.
Is this you out of character saying
This is out of character because I'm trying to put the timeline together, and then and so Julian's gonna look puzzled at Katari. It's like, so you were trapped in the council caught you and put you in the Black House.
Yes.
After you tried to recruit Sam and Chine?
Yes.
But before or after we met for the first time in the park?
After.
Julian wants to, can I roll perception to see if I notice any difference in Katari's appearance?
Okay.
Than his actual first encounter with Katari, which was not the park. Uh, 16. Because one of the descriptions in this was actually a comment that was made. They comment each other on their hair specifically. Mm-hmm. So Julian has a distinct memory of how Katari looked in that encounter.
Yeah. Was different.
It was different?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want, I'll go get the letter so I can prove why I tried to kill Katari.
And
I can be there and back in 5 minutes.
Julian looks at Sam and is like, there may be some validity to that letter. And you can tell June's actually being honest.
Right. Do you want me to go get it? Maybe Katari can shed some light on maybe a memory of when it was written.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
I'll even leave all my weapons here so you know I'm not sneaking off to shoot you in the back.
And we'll leave our weapons right here on the ground so you know when you come back, we don't have something waiting for you.
Okay. I'll go get it.
And Julian's still connected with Shade.
Yes.
Unbeknownst to Shade.
Unbeknownst.
That's a question. Like, can Shade sense it when?
So far, they have not been able to. Yeah. Until he speaks. When I get back to my room, I break out my forgery kit.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yep.
What would be a target number for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew
so
that
now,
was the case.
Pause for 1 second, because here's the tidbit that Daisy picked up, that Julian picked on from what Daisy said. I don't think he ever said to anybody. And I don't know if you intended it this way, but this is the way it's coming across right now. Is Daisy said to Julian when he was connected in the safe house where she collapsed that Katari doesn't know that she's a twin.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that.
That's right. So, okay. All right. And so my goal for this is for it to look, after this conversation that we just had, it needs to look enough like Katari's handwriting that I would be fooled, but Katari might not be.
Okay. You're going to need a 33.
How is that a 30?
You're writing a whole letter in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I just got a letter just saying they all have to die. Katari.
It's got to make it really. You got to make it really convincing.
It has to be even more convincing for Julian because Julian has seen your handwriting.
So it just has to not look like Sam's.
No, it's got to look like Atari's too.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
My goal is to make it look like Katari's.
And
I can't get a 33, but
Try.
no, I can't.
What's your forgery at?
I have my forgery at 2D plus 1, and I have 3 character points, which would get me those 3 give me a 40 plus.
And you can't use character
yeah,
points.
so
with
you
that.
have actually more dice using 3 character points, but it only has 4 character points.
You can only use 3 at a time, so
Right, so that would leave you 1 character point.
no. Let me just. I have 3 character points.
That would use all of your character points.
Yes.
Wow.
What happens if you go to 0? Do you die?
No, you just have nothing to.
It's just there's no way to actually.
So if you roll something and actually really flub something, you have nothing to.
No backups.
No backups.
So I guess my question is, how will this?
I hope you get no comment.
So let's say I only get like 25. Will it be enough that? Is there a scale, or is it just a pass fail?
It's a scale.
It's a scale. Like
scale.
it probably, if you got like a 20,
Honestly, Julian would be the 33
yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
because he has.
My perception, I'm not very perceptive.
Right.
So it'd be easier to fool.
It'd be easier
Yes.
for you. It'd probably be easier for Chine
Okay.
and Jerr,
Okay.
not Archie. Well, maybe Archie, depending on who Archie actually is at the moment.
Oh,
Well, that failed.
Yay!
That's all right. I need something.
Yeah, you need something.
Oh,
Hey, there we go.
That explodes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
explodes.
All right, so
there's
12.
That's 2 character points.
Last character. 15.
15.
That's not bad.
Better than 0.
Better than.
Now you better hope you don't need to. We hope you don't end up fighting.
Hey, Poppy.
If we end up fighting, I got 5.
But you're gonna have to commit to spending those
I can-
rather than roll
can-
and then have no backup.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So. And then I take this letter back to the group.
Dear Sam, I need you to do what we did in Morocco.
Yeah, actually, it's very similar to that.
except not Morocco.
Yeah.
It's Marlene. It's called a Marlene twist.
Dear Sam, we need a Marlene twist.
Love healing hands.
No, okay. Because you don't put a whole name on that.
And I'll look at that and say, I thought this was your bar order.
So, in the meantime, while Sam is doing this, what is everybody else discussing, or are we just sitting there twiddling our thumbs?
I don't know. Chime looked like he had something to discuss with you.
Not with other people around, though.
We're clearing the air, so whatever you got to say, can be said and should be said in front of everybody here. And probably will be relayed to Sam as well.
Oh, it's not a matter of they can't hear. It's a matter that I just don't trust them since Jerr lied to my face about who was put inside of Archie.
How did I lie to your face?
I kept asking, you refused to give me the name of who was put in there. You said a fire elemental. I know who you put back in there.
Look, Chime, if you're unwilling, fact, we're going to have to go back to Consiglio and Jerr as well, probably do some dastardly things in order to right some wrongs. And I don't see any other way around it. Serrani doesn't see any other way around it. Archie doesn't see any other way around it. Katari didn't see any other way around it. Either you're willing to let go of any of your personal roadblocks, at least for the duration of this mission, then we can all go our separate ways, find our place, do what we want to, be angry with whoever we want to be angry with. Or you don't have a place in this mission. We are all we've got.
Okay, so what is the big plan for when you get back to Consiglio?
Yeah, that is something we need to discuss.
We need to wait for Sam to discuss the plan, because before we discuss the plan, we need to all know that we're on board. Everybody here has their reservations. Even Sam, who's actually not here, has their reservations with somebody or some concept that is within this group. Everybody's got reservations. I have reservations. Multiple. However, what I'm hearing from Katari, Archie, and Serrani says this goal of this mission is pretty important.
And what is the goal is what I'm asking.
I have a feeling we need to know everybody's going to be willing to set aside their personal struggles before they know what that goal is.
Okay, you tell me the goal. I don't go with you. I'm not. Who am I going to tell back there?
I'm not worried about who you're going to tell.
Let's just wait for Sam to get back.
Because I can legitimately see the reason for some of the secrecy of Healing Hands now. From what I put together from information that those three have told me.
All I know is that things are going to change when I get back there.
I show back up. As I approach, I'm like, this letter was waiting for me. It would have been a week or two before we left Consiglio. And I hand you the letter. It says, S, I need a Marteline twist. Okay.
You hand it to Julian?
Yeah.
Julian takes a look at the letter, reads it. Without lifting his head, just raises his eyes to look at Sam.
Marteline twist is you join a group and then you kill everybody once the work is done.
Anything from Shade? As Julian is purposely just staring at Sam.
Yes, actually, you still hear, you can do it now. They're close. Sam's eyes kind of tick towards the guns, but Sam doesn't move.
Julian, without looking away from Sam, kind of hands the note over to Katari and it's like, what do you think of that?
What was your
15.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think this is my handwriting, but I'm also not really in a position to make a statement along these lines because I've been sick. I've been literally hand carried across a mountain while sick, or shot out of the sky.
But this was potentially before you even fell ill.
I mean, I was.
And he's saying all this, still staring at Sam. He's not looking at Katari.
I can't remember. Like, there's been so much to jog my mind. Daisy doesn't recognize this. I can't tell you one way or another.
I could always have a look at it.
Still looking at Sam, passes the note.
In fact, I've seen her signature before. Archie looks down. Guess I gotta roll for this?
Yeah.
Perception?
Yeah.
Yes! We all have low perception.
All right, double it to 4.
We're doubling it. How did we get such a low perception group?
Oh yeah.
I put all mine in
That
presence.
goes to the defender.
Yeah, it does.
Who's the defender in this case?
No, you are initiating the con.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
you're-
I'm the defender.
You're the defender.
No, you're initiating the con.
You were the defender, honestly.
But
that's the
you are
attack.
the one trying to con them.
Yeah.
So they are defending against your action.
No, they are now defending against your distrust of the letter that you just handed.
They're defending against my distrust.
Because
But I haven't expressed my distrust.
Oh,
No,
I
you
can't use a
haven't.
character point.
No, I haven't.
Fate point, right?
no.
Julian has been very clear not to
Say anything.
say his distrust.
So Jordan, who's the defender?
Honestly, you're not the defender. Because you are trying to convince the rest of the group against something. This is basically, if this is an attack and a defense situation, you are on the attack.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So you can tell that it is not Katari's signature.
Just barely.
Something is wrong with her R.
What's wrong with the R?
There's a loop at the top. She never did a loop.
Really?
Really. I've seen plenty of receipts at the bar.
And Julian still looking at Sam. Julian's going to say to Katari, there is a reason why you might not be able to remember writing this letter. But it's not what you think. Which is my quote.
Well, why wouldn't she remember writing the note?
Maybe she didn't write the note. How can you remember a note you never wrote?
Well, I think that's Julian's getting to something here.
I don't think she wrote the note.
I'd have to agree.
Just a convincing forgery?
Perhaps.
It could be.
Now you're caught it. Somebody else forged it.
But is it really convincing?
Oh my god! It's hilarious.
Now you're trying to look on it. Somebody else forged it.
Is that a con roll?
Yes, it
That'd be
is.
a con. Yeah.
All right, so Julian is doing a. He's not. Julian's not conning.
No, Julian's not.
No.
He is. All right, let's do this one first, and then I'll explain what Julian is doing.
Monstrosity of a roll.
That's a lot.
Guys, if you ever, audience, if you ever wanted, the sheer joy of flinging around 2 handfuls of math
20.
rocks, Open D6 is the system for you.
Yes.
Is that one of mine?
Especially with how the fate points
40.
double the roll.
48, 51.
Good gosh. Get it back.
To my con, yeah. Is it just a clever forgery?
You didn't have to convince Julian that it was a forgery.
Okay.
He knew it was a forgery by looking at
But
it.
he's convinced you that he didn't write the forgery.
Julian is tucking that possibility in his mind. He's still hanging on to his other possibility, but he's tucking that, okay, there could be a third option to this. But he's going to explain, still looking at Sam. He's not taking his eyes off of Sam right now. Saying, Katari, you may not have written that note, but that note may have been written by someone for you, or, I don't know the way they put this, a different you.
Different?
What?
Katari, has Daisy ever let you know that you have a sister?
No. Daisy does, though.
Daisy has a sister?
Yeah.
So who has the sister here?
Apparently
Apparently,
Daisy
Katari.
and Katari?
And she just starts shaking her head, staring off into the distance at the sunset. We don't talk about that.
Perhaps we should.
With that, we're going to go ahead and end this session. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Ellie, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is bonethrowerstheater. You can also look us up on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.